Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to hop on here very briefly today and just talk about something that's been on my heart for quite some time. Over the past several weeks and months, I've been asked by a couple of people, what do I think about prominent conservative, black conservatives such as Candace Owens, and what do I think about the so-called Coon-servative caricature that they portray, or the Coon-servative caricature that white leftists and Democrats use to smear black people who dare to think for themselves. So these are my 2 cents on this issue. Candace Owens is all talk and no action. When you look at her, she has a massive following, she has a lot of influence, she has a lot of money, but what does she do? I mean, what does she really do when you boil it down? She's sitting down there in the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's multi-million-dollar studio, talking to a predominantly white audience about problems in the black community. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that black people don't respond to that. They look at that and they see a sellout, or they see, they see a coon, or whatever they want to call it. They don't respond to that. Or if she's not doing that, she's out on the road with Charlie Kirk doing a tour, which is great. But once again, if you look around the room, it's predominantly white, and the audience that needs that message never gets it. So my issue is that people like Candace Owens, they're all talk and they're no action. With the amount of money and influence that she has through Bless and all the other endeavors that she's had, it would be nothing for her to go out there and to have foot soldiers out there witnessing conservatism, fiscal responsibility, low taxes, and, a better life to people who have never heard that message. But yet she's not doing it. And, it just seems so dubious to me, because when I look at it and when I really think about it, I see that she's charging $30,000 per speech. Well, at that point, that becomes a grift. God is nowhere in that at that point. So, I just think that we have to be very careful as people, black people, white people, all people, of the voices that we're raising up and the people that we are elevating to a platform, because we've seen a lot of different people over the years. It's a cautionary tale. We've seen a lot of people, whether it was Al Sharpton or Barack Obama or Jesse Jackson. All these people down through the years have come in and said what they were going to do and have left us with nothing. When do we stop being duped by these dubious figures? It begs the question: when does it stop? It's our choice when it stops. It's our choice. She shouts from the mountaintops, "Get off the plantation, get off the plantation." Well, let's unpack that statement, because we all know of Harriet Tubman. I don't know if you've seen recently, there's some memes going around the internet of Candace Owens and Harriet Tubman. It's sort of like a split screen. And I guess they call themselves trying to compare the two, but there is no comparison. Harriet Tubman didn't scream, from the bayous or wherever she was, get off the plantation. She went down there and she got her people. And when her people came with her, they started to, flake out on her. She pulled out a pistol and she meant business, so they knew to get going. We're not seeing that from Candace Owens. And when you boil it down, there are no comparisons between the two women. Candace Owens, she does her thing, but that's it. Harriet Tubman actually went down there and she saved her people. She said, "I freed 1,000 slaves and I could have freed 1,000 more if only they had known that they were slaves." These black people out here in the black community, they don't know they're being duped by the Democratic Party. They don't know that they're being, enslaved mentally by bad government. The Republican Party is absent. They're chickened out and won't come. The state party is a joke. The local party is a joke. We know this. So it's going to take some real leadership in our own people to save our own community. Moses in the Bible, God gave him a mandate. He didn't say, come out of Egypt. He didn't just say that to those Israelites. He went down there and he saved his people. There cannot be liberation without a Moses or without a Harriet. It takes action. It's about your actions. So I think that's what we need to pay attention to, and that's what we need to make sure that we're cognizant of moving forward. And all of this, it doesn't come from a place of hatred. It doesn't come from a place of envy. It truly comes from a place of revelation. Over the past year, I've had a meaningful discussion with some people about Candace Owens, and that's where all this is coming from. I just don't see that action from her. I don't see it. I really don't. It comes from a place of revelation for me. I was a huge Candace Owens fan. I dare you to go scroll up and down my page. You'll see different things I posted from her. Everything she posted in the last 3 years, I would share it. I was the biggest fan until it was brought to my attention that she's not actually out here doing the work. And it just blew up in my face. And I was like, wow, she's not. So I think that we have to be very cognizant of the voices that we're lifting up, and that we have to make sure that we're doing the work that needs to be done. It's a cliche, but we have to make sure that we're doing it, because we have to be the change that we want to see in this world. And that's just the end of it. So I hope that I've put something in your ear. Either you accept it or you rake it in the garbage. That's on you. But she's not doing the work that needs to be done to move the needle towards conservatism in the Black community and any community that needs that message. Any community of color. She's not doing the work to do it. She isn't. And I'm not ashamed if that offends you at all. I don't care if that offends you at all. It's the truth, and the truth hurts. So I said what I had to say. That's my 2 cents, and I hope that you all have a blessed day. Take care.